we back again.
Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tika are hype, keeping dreams alive. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tika are hype, keeping dreams alive. Bringing you reactions, reviews and slick recaps. Join the conversation, no time for mishaps. Trends will uncover, every beat devoured with fresh insights and energy will never tire. From pop culture to the latest in the game, dive in with us. You want to stake your claim, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Talk That Talk Media. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media.
Hey, okay, listen, I love our intro song. It is so dope, y'all. Shout out to Tika on that intro song, okay? Because, listen, I love it.
The vibe. It's the vibe for all of us.
Okay, that part. Listen, y'all, we are back. We are back with the finale for Talamasca. Listen, this is a new show, so of course they only ordered so many episodes. They had 6 episodes, but I ain't gonna lie, these have been 6 solid episodes. And I got lots of questions, but we also got a lot of answers, which I love that. They did not keep us in the dark, wondering about a lot of stuff. So I'm here for it. And y'all already know how we like to do it. We like to start everything out with a little vibe check so we can kind of see how you feeling about the episode, Tika. How'd you feel about it?
Oh my God, that finale episode, emotional tension, tensions was high, everything was flying. Oh my God, listen, if I had to rate it 1 to 10, I know we normally go 1 to 5, but I had to get at last episode right there, a 10. Jasmine's ass is chained up. Oh, I'm so happy. It's a lot of stuff that went down. And I was like, what? So yeah, 10 for me.
Okay. I mean, if we're going on a scale of 1 to 10 this go around, then I'm definitely here for. I feel like this episode took it up a notch where we really needed it to be for a season finale. So I'm definitely right around in that 9.5 era. I mean, it probably could have easily been a 10. I'm just probably holding out on them. It really was a really good finale. And like I said, I love when you get questions answered and a series doesn't have you holding on, waiting for those things. Because I know we talked about, would we find Emma, because Helen has been looking for her all this time. Would we find her? Would we find Guy's mom? How would we get there? So of course we didn't get both of them, but at least we got one of them, and we're about to get into it. So let me go ahead and get up. I got a few little slides here, so we can talk about it.
Listen, we don't know where Guy's mama is, but we know somebody that might know somebody that might know somebody.
Okay. That might know somebody that might know somebody that might know that part, which is great. So, okay, let me get these. Oh, my bad. There we go. Make them bigger so we can see. Okay, so first of all, I love this going back in time. Oh, before I even get into that, listen, first and foremost, guys, shout out to the chat. I am so sorry that I did not shout you guys out. Shout out to the chat. We appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out with us. If you're watching this on the replay, please make sure to drop down in the chat and type in #replay squad and let us know that you came through and what you were most excited about for the Talamasca. Now, listen. When we first start out the episode, we actually start out with a past situation. We go back to the Talamasca at Amsterdam back in the day, and then I'm putting it by side because there is a very similar thing that happens. All these years later, we got the same guy, Houseman, who is literally, he seems to be the top of the food chain in the Talamasca. Now, we did learn that the Talamasca holds elders and all this type of stuff. And while we don't know if Houseman is the true top dog, he seems to be somewhere up here for sure. But what he tells him is, he's like, I'm the guy that watches. And for me, that says all I need to know. And what we learn is that he's literally making more vampires. And while I wonder, like with all of the different things, you know, they deal in the supernatural. Why do they choose vampires is really what I'm so interested in finding out. Like, why are they trying to populate the world with vampires? Is it because of their blood and it's healing blood? Is it because of the idea of immortality? Like, there could be tons of reasons, but it just baffles me that that's the particular supernatural creature that they go after. What were your thoughts about these parallel events happening, you know, at different times, of course, but same types of events?
When Houseman said, I'm the man that watches, that's when I put two and two together that, dang, he's the one that was in that first image that you see, and now he's over here. His ass still alive. So does that mean he got a touch of the blood too? Like what, and what again? But I was here for it. Oh God, to change people. He only had to, and we only saw this one guy, and I forgot his name on the left slide, but we only saw him change one individual, and I know we're going to talk about that. But then now Jasper is responsible for changing like a bunch of bodies. Like, what is going on? And maybe the reason why they chose vampire is because of the healing, you know, the healing power that they possess, you know, within the blood. So maybe that's why they chose him, EJ. But I was like, oh my, who's under? I wanted to see them pull towels off of eyes so I could see who they're, you know, changing.
They probably have done the same thing that they've done to Emma, which is take these kids when they're young and then let them get to a certain age, because we've all learned that we do not want to turn vampires at age like child ages and things like that. Mm-hmm. Like, they need to be a certain age. And maybe that's what they've been doing, taking these kids with abilities and then turning them into the vampires. I mean, for one thing, they're going to have immortality. And then, like you said, then the other thing, the whole idea of being able to just heal in blood and things like that. I mean, and to be fair, vampires are really seem to be the top of the food chain. I don't know. It's just interesting that this is what they want to do when they're supposed to just watch. But yet they are definitely putting their hands in the pots. They are not just watchers. And they're doing the most. And Jasper said, he was like, he kept saying that there's not enough vampires. He keeps saying that there's not a lot of them out there. Even if we take this back over to Interview with the Vampire, there was a moment when I believe Louis is asking Lestat, or Claudia is asking Lestat about the other vampires. And he even says that there's not a ton of vampires out there, right? And when they say a lot, because to me, it feels like it's a lot of them, but I get what they're saying. Like, as compared to the human population, like, you know, they don't have very many of them. So that's how we opened up this episode. So I was like, okay, y'all, we're about to go there. I see. Okay, I'm not mad about it. So today we're going to be talking about these characters, character by character, and just kind of diving into some of the things that we witnessed on this episode. I want to start out with the detective because, of course, she's still on the case. She does have this moment where she kind of puts some things together. They've already opened up the file with Olive's picture in it. They found DNA at the scene, at the Maidville stem. That's where the covens are. They also found DNA at Kevis's place as well, right? And this DNA matches, both of the DNA matches. And so now she feels like she done cracked this case. Not only that, she has footage of Guy talking to not only Olive, but also to Helen as well. Like, she is out here really, really figuring it out. So much to the point that she done got herself put on the sideline too, because she's doing too much. But what were your thoughts just of her overall? And I just keep feeling like her life is going to be on the line eventually. If it's not that, she's going to end up having to, like, maybe she's going to end up helping in some way, form, or fashion. I don't know.
Ridge is extremely, extremely resilient in doing her job. She is one of those top flight security. She was like, I know she was the police, but she is top flight and does not. She is finding clues left and right. And just like you said, they basically took her off the case. But, you know, if you remember, there was a moment when, and you may get to, I'm sure you'll get to it, where she and Guy and Doris were in the car together, or they were all riding, and she was like, or sitting, and she was like, but the DNA belongs to a certain individual, but I don't think that individual is capable of doing what they're being accused of, which is the unaliving of the coven and all those other people. So I was just like, okay, Ridge, stay on your game, but watch your back. Keep your head literally on a swivel, because you don't know that you're going up against the supernatural. You're going up against all the vampire things that you can go up against. You got some revenants running around like honey queen lady. Ridge, be careful.
Okay, that part. Yeah, she has a lot of different things that's going to be coming about with her, but I did love how she's standing 10 toes down on it. She's like, listen, she told Olive, if I call MI5, are they going to have, is your name going to be there? And she's not backing down to it. She actually does call them and find out that she actually does not work there. So she did figure it out when it was all said and done. But I am interested in where we go with her story as we travel into season 2, because I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I never expected her to make it out of season 1. Thought she was gonna go. Right. But meanwhile, let's go ahead and move on to Jasper, because we know that Jasper has slaughtered an entire coven, but we also find out that Jasper was being used the entire time. We thought that the guy who was over here in Amsterdam had sold out the mother house because he wanted to get the blood. I mean, true enough, he did want that because he was sick, but he actually knew that there was a bigger plan all along. Like, Jasper was really supposed to lead them to Guy, because I guess, or I'm guessing Guy is who he was supposed to lead them to, but they had been using him this entire time, right? And they knew that they were going to use him for a bigger plan. They were just waiting on him to slip up. And sure enough, he slipped up, right? He ended up slaughtering an entire coven. He's been creating revenants. They've basically been letting him dig his hole this entire time. Like, we're just going to sit around and let him do what he do. And I found it funny, because I was like, well, shoot, you got the vampires. They're supernatural. They live forever. They're strong. But yet the Talamasca has managed to be able to control so much. It's kind of scary how much they can control being mortal, but knowing so much about this immortal world. And when it all came down to it, he was like, listen, you don't have a clue. And of course, Jasper is still thinking that he's in control. He does what he does, and then he gets got. And next thing you know, he's rolled up in a rug, and he's over here back in the same place that vampire who committed the murder of unaliving his wife and her lover all those years ago that we saw. Now Jasper's here, and Houseman is like, look, you committed a no. You've been over there creating revenant. Yeah, you did that slaughter at Maidaville. Like, no. And they got the iron thing over his face. They got his hands locked in. Like, they know exactly what to do in order to be able to contain them. Now, what is interesting is that Olive does see them, right? She sees them when they're taking him. So I do wonder if she will somehow come back, especially now that we know she found that revenant, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But what were your thoughts just on Jasper in this final season?
I was like, that's what you get. What you get, Jasper. That's what you get for doing Guy the way that you did. You was attempting to turn him into a revenant. Like, you were doing the most. You were, using him, trying to find the 752. You were doing all of the things to make Guy one of your little slaves, and he ended up getting caught up, and now he's a slave walking around looking like what's his name from Silence of the Lamb?
Girl, Hannibal.
Yes, he walking around looking like with that darn mask, that iron mask, or literally the iron mask on his face. And I was just like, good, that's what you get, you know. In the beginning when he was working with Guy, I thought maybe he's a good one. Maybe he's on the good, but then it was like, no, he's absolutely not the good one. So hey, you get what you get. You was using somebody, and somebody been using you. You had no idea.
Okay, absolutely. And I'm not mad at it because you didn't really have to go over there and slaughter all those witches like that, like just completely unnecessary. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead and talk about Helen, aka Fiona. So Fiona is her given name. And Helen, of course, is her Talamasca name. Helen had a lot going on ever since we started this series, Tika. I think I have been saying that I don't trust Helen, I don't trust Helen, I don't trust Helen. And while I think that there is some validity to that, because I think Helen just, at some point, the need to find her sister just outweighed this need to be a part of this machine, the Talamasca. But I'm using the Talamasca in order to be able to find my sister. But I'm starting to have a conscience about what I'm actually doing at this point. And for some reason, I have this really big connection with this guy. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I have this really this connection with Guy, and I really feel something for him, and I really want to help him, right? Now, while trying to help him, because she's trying to get the passports and stuff for him. And of course, she told them not to leave. Of course, they were going to leave. We knew that was going to happen. But meanwhile, she is also trying to find the doctor, right? Because remember when she left, the sister that had, I think that's the sister's name was Rose, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I'm not great with names. But when she left there, she had gave her a little piece of a letter, right? I can't remember what episode it was, but she had gave her a letter and gave her the doctor's name, right? So she finds the doctor, and the doctor likes you deserve to know. Let me just go ahead and tell you. And he goes on and he starts talking about her sister and how great she was and how she had this mind and she could remember everything. And we noticed it on the bus, right? I mean, on the train ride when he was testing her, right? Mm-hmm. And they took her to that library. Now we know about the library because we got information on that earlier in the season, where there's this library of all of this information and it was burned down. Where it turns out that the Talamasca burned down their own darn library, right? They burned it down. Nobody else burned it down. They burned it down because they didn't want anybody to be able to get the information, because basically there was a coup going on inside of the Talamasca, people wanting to take the information and be able to use it for other stuff. Like with anything, you know, humans can't do right. It just is what it is. They always want the power. They always want to go extra. And so because of that, they decided that we need to put the information into one spot. And what everyone believed to be a book turned out to be something else. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. But he's trying to tell her all about it, right? But before he can tell her exactly what it is, he only gets a chance to tell her, like, look, her name is not Emma. She gave up that name. She goes by Doris now. And then that's when we realize that the only Doris we know is the one that Guy is running around here with. But the problem is that she's young. Her and Helen can't be sisters, right? Because at this moment, that's like your thought process. Like, there's no way that they could be sisters. So it has to be some other Doris. Can't be this Doris, or is she got a glamour on it? Like, you're just thinking maybe something. But for me, I hadn't put together about Doris yet, because I was trying to figure out how, because I'm like, she was just a regular, I mean, not regular, but she was still just a non-supernatural person, right? So I was really trying to put it together. But what did you think of just about Helen in general? Oh, let me get this out too. Helen also, because she had a lot going on, Helen's DNA is also found at both locations, right? One of the locations is found because, of course, she has a twin. And the other location is because Olive put her DNA there to make it look like Helen was the one who had committed this thing. And that is what the Ridge is talking about in the car, that she doesn't believe that the person who it appears to be is the person who actually did it, because she actually has proof that there was no way that she could be here and then here. So it is a lot going on. Just give me your rundown, your thoughts just of everything that was happening with Helen And we'll save the reveal for the next one. I'll have that in the next one.
Yeah, I was just kind of feeling sorry for her, for Helen, because all she wanted was to know what her sister was. Like, that was her ultimate plan, and that's really why she agreed with Guy, to help him, because I mean, she already had kind of agreed, but then she was saying, well, he was saying, well, I'll help you, find your sister. Basically just get me up out of here, like get my passport, do all the things so I can get the heck out of here. And she Helen, but she gonna be all right. I feel like Helen is gonna be all right. I still don't like how she used Guy, but then I understand. Like, everybody at this point, the Talamasca uses everyone. Guy has used somebody at some point in time. Jasper has used somebody at some point in time. So that's the nature of the Talamasca. They're gonna use somebody, and they're always watching, as they say. But yeah, Helen, aka Fiona, I was, again, the little girl versus the little girl, like seeing the twins play together and just be together was, it kind of touched my heart over here.
Okay.
But yeah.
Actually, I want to go straight to, we'll go to her in a minute. We're going to come back to her because I want to go ahead and tie these two in together. So now we have Doris, aka, that's supposed to be AKA. I don't know why I got okay. We got Doris, aka Emma, because it's revealed that, hey, we've known Helen's sister all this time. And the reason why it is revealed is because while these two are locked up, they end up getting busted out by Olive. Olive busts them out. But then Olive immediately is ready to turn against them, right? She's really ready to show her true colors before they even get out the parking lot, which I thought was so dumb. Why would we not wait to get them to a more secure location and then turn? And you know what I'm saying? Like, that would have made more sense to me, but that's not what they did. And instead, we learned right then that the reason why Emma is still looking young is because Emma is a vampire as well, because she tried to get to Olive, but he wouldn't let her, right? And so that brings us down this whole rabbit hole of the story. How did all of this happen? What is going on? Guy is feeling betrayed by so many people because he's like, why didn't you tell me? And on the low, I'm just like, Guy, you really wasn't honest about a lot of stuff either, about why you really, got into the Talamasca, all these different things. Like, people have to pull stuff out of you too. So let's run it down. Turns out that Emma, of course, is the one who was reading all the stuff. She has this great memory. And we find out right then that Doris is the 752. The 752 is not a book. Olive is sitting up there seeing this book in her bag, and telepathically, Guy is able to read her mind. And that's when he realizes that she's the bad guy too. But overall, everybody thinks it's a book, but it's not a book. And she has all the information stored. And for years, people would come and they would use her and try to extract information out of her. And she just felt like a tool. She didn't know why she was being used like this. So she eventually ends up running away, right? Because she was being taken from location to location. At the time that she ran away, she was actually being hidden at that time because she's such a valuable piece of information. But at the same time, the Talamasca does what it does best, which is use people up, right? The reason why they turn her into the vampire in that scene that we saw earlier in the show definitely had to be them turning her into a vampire, because that way she could live forever, which means that their tool could live forever and that the information would always be around. As long as she's around, it's around, right? Which I thought that was a lot of stock, putting that all the information into one person, right? Because I mean, to be fair, she could get got and then all of the information would be gone. I think they have to have a backup plan. I would hope they have a backup plan, Tika. I don't know 100%, but that was just like my thoughts. Like, they got to have a backup plan. So not only that, but we also learned that she actually watched Kevis grow up. She met Kevis as a young girl and actually basically raised her, right? And they were really close. They were friends, and she came to her place. Archie had unalived Kevis, and she unalived Archie. So that's why we have the double homicide that we have there at the apartment. And this is because Kevis found out about what Archie was trying to do, and she inserted herself into it because they were such good friends. And that's how she got herself unalive, because she was trying to protect Doris, because that's what they had been looking for. And I guess Archie had somehow figured it out, which is why he had that book, but that book was just a thing. And I think that's why he was pointing at that book, because he may have figured out that she indeed was the 752. You know what I'm saying? And that book wasn't the 752, maybe just trying to point to her, like, because her pictures are all in there, because it was a whole what do you call it, a scrapbook, because it was a whole scrapbook. So I think that's what he was really trying to do. But anyway, yeah, it was just a lot of stuff, that a lot of revelation. So now we know exactly who she is, how the Kevis relationship came about. We now have this murder solved, all the answers. There we go, all of them. I was happy about that. What were your thoughts over just this character, Doris, the revelation, all the things?
Yeah, literally all of the things that we've been looking for has been in one person. Like, if everything is all pointed to Doris, aka Emma. She was giving the fact that she has all this knowledge in her, like she's a book. It reminded of me of, I don't know if you remember Genevieve from Rush Hour, when Genevieve had that barcode on her neck, or on the back of her head. They shaved her head. And Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker had to go, and Lee and Hong had to go and find her. Anyway, that's what she reminds me. That's what Doris reminds me of, with the whole, all the knowledge and all of the knowledge and all the knowledge is literally embedded in her brain. And it's crazy that they would burn down her library of books. And when you see the library of books, looked like it was over hundreds of thousands of books in that library. They literally took her, separated her from things and people that she knew, hid her, like you said, EJ. So it's crazy the type of life that she had to live. And it doesn't surprise me that once she found or came upon Kevis, she took her under her wing. She had her person, like most vampires are looking for their person, you know what I mean? So it was, it didn't shock me that she chose someone, who was out there, like, kind of on their own, to raise them. Doris, man, her story is, and it continues. This is not the last of what we know of Doris, and I know we're going to get into to the final part, the main part with her.
Yeah, absolutely. So one other thing that I want to bring up about Doris is that, so we know all of, did I just lose my whole train of thought? Girl, I think I just lost my thought, whatever that thought was. It was something important about Doris. It'll come back to me. Oh, I got it. It came back to me. I wanted to put the connection between Doris and Helen. Helen figures it out. And realizes that this is her sister, which is why she does the thing where she sacrifices herself in order to help them to be able to get away. It had to be like looking in the mirror, because I'm pretty sure, because now that I think about it, Helen has never saw him with Doris before. Like, they've never run into each other with Doris. So she's never come face to face with her. Because I kept thinking, like, hasn't she seen her all the time? She always popping up. No, she hasn't seen her. But I'm pretty sure if they are identical twins, that's probably what Helen looked like when she was young. And that's probably why it was like looking in the mirror, and the way that she looked at her and the way that they smiled at each other. I just thought it was a beautiful moment, and her finally finding her sister, right? I thought that was great. But what's even more interesting is that the Talamasca is relentless. When these two actually get away, they get away and they think they're about to go and figure it out, right? they're about to go their separate ways, we learn that the Talamasca is still following them, that they've had eyes on her. They're trying to see where she's going to go and who she's going to lead them to. And I think she's going to end up leading them to his mom, of course, which may be somebody else that the Talamasca really, really wants. But now we don't know that part of the story. So I'm interested in that part of the story. Like, what is it about his mom that they really, really need? Because clearly they could have taken out Guy at any time, but they didn't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also like that. I like it when she allow him to get inside of her, to like hear and see her thoughts and hear everything, and we see the name, we see his mama's name. I don't know if you're gonna if you had a slide for that one, but his mama, Annie Lemus, like we see her name and we see an image of her, we see her hair, we see Guy being sent away or being comforted by his mother, because he's literally got his hands over his ears because the sounds is just too much, or the noise is just too much for him. So she allowed him to go inside and see all of the things. Normally, Doris is a closed book when it comes to Guy. Like, you don't need to know my thoughts. You don't need to know what I'm thinking. I don't care if you even need to know how many times I'm breathing. You don't need to know. You don't need to know at all. So okay. I like that moment. It was, oh God, Doris. She like, they should have just said Talamasca or Doris, Doris, aka Emma, the queen of Talamasca and beyond, because this whole story literally all points to her.
Yeah, I mean, she's the one thing that they've all been wanting, that everybody is looking for, this 752 that turns out not to be a book at all, but is an actual person. And also, to your point about people opening up, Helen opened up too. She's another person that had her mind closed to him. She opened up so that he would know how to get where the passports were and all the things. So I thought that was really cool. Now we got to go back over here to this heifer, Olive, who we know is the mole, right? We know that Olive is the mole. But what I mainly want to talk about with her is that they did not unalive all of the revenants. Now, we know that the revenants are a no-no, as the Talamasca says. He's not supposed to be creating these half vampires, right? But one of them got out, so they did not unalive all of them. And she finds him, and she finds the clicker, which tells me that she's probably going to try to control it. But what is she going to do? Is she going to go look for Jasper? What is she going to do? Because at this point, she still thinks that this book still exists, right? Nobody else knows that the 752 is not really a book besides the Talamasca and now the few people who just found out. But they still think that they're looking for an actual book. So does she go to Jasper? What do you think she's going to do with this revenant?
Yeah, I think if she does, I see her going and looking for Jasper. But my question is, why is she so loyal to Jasper? Like, are they related? Like, why is it that she's so loyal, and why is it that she's so willing, to work for him? And he's gone. You saw him rolled up in the carpet, the rug. Like, you could have been free. You could have been, out there away from all of it, but you literally chose to go back to find this revenant. Are you trying to take Jasper's place? Like, what is her mission now? What is she up to now? Like, I don't know. I don't know if she wants to run it. I don't know if she wants to be in control of it, or if she is loyal and dedicated to Jasper for whatever shape, form, or fashion, rhyme or reason behind it all.
Girl, that part. So then we have Guy, okay, the main guy of the story, Guy. And Guy was intertwined into all of this. Literally, by us talking about all of this, we have kind of intertwined Guy into every last single bit of this. But my main thing that I want to talk about Guy is the fact that he still looking for his mom, but she says, I think I might know where your mom is, which tells me that Guy's going to stay up in this thing. He's not going to rest until he finds his mom. But I think he does find peace and clarity in Helen at this point, because he ain't never trusted her.
Right.
And I think now he realizes that she is somebody that he can trust. And especially now being that they found the sister, you know what I'm saying? I think that they are going to continue to work together, but there's going to be more of a thing of bringing down the Talamasca. But I don't think you bring down the Talamasca. I think that we're going to go throughout these, however many seasons they get, trying to bring down the Talamasca, only for it to never be able to be brought down, only maybe contained a little bit, but never fully dismantled. So I think this is going to be interesting to kind of follow Guy's story. What did you think just of him overall as just the main guy that we've been following this entire time? What were your thoughts about his character? Because to be fair, we didn't really do much with Guy. We did so much more with everybody else's and bringing their stories full circle. He kind of was just here.
Right. Well, he was here for one purpose, and that was to remind us that he's looking for his mama. Okay. And he, got caught up in the midst of a lot of this stuff. He got caught up in the situation with Jasper, by force, not choice. He got into the situation with Helen because he thought he could use something from her by helping him find his mama. So I just want, listen, when Guy tried to kiss Emma / Doris, and then him realizing that's his sister, and then she actually supposed to look how Helen looks now. Like, boy, you was about to kiss your grandmama. What is going on? Guy, how did you feel when you laid in that bed with your grandmama, somebody your grandmother's age? That was where my mind went. I know there was so much more things that, Guy, but literally Guy was intertwined in everything that we already talked about. But yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this brings me to some questions that I had, like what's next? Will they find his mom in the next season? Will they bring Doris back in the Talamasca? They see her. They could absolutely get her at any time that they wanted to. Will they try to bring her back in? Why are they making these vampires? And I also wanted to point out about Doris that they were very intentional about the type of vampire that they made her, which I didn't even know they could do this. So apparently that vampire that they had went out there and got, he was more of a tame vampire. If I were to compare him to something, I would compare him to when Louis wants to just only eat animal blood, because he was like, this goes against everything that we believe in. And I was like, okay, so they don't, whoever this set of vampires is, they don't want to turn other people into vampires, right? And they probably don't even actually drink real blood. They probably drink off of animal blood or something like that, right? Because, all the different types of covens, they all have their own little things that they had going on. You know what I'm saying? So from what we've seen so far. So that's what I thought when I saw him. And by them using a tame vampire like that, she didn't get all of the abilities like the Akashas and the Magmas and all that other stuff, because they didn't want her to be stronger than them. They needed somebody that they could still control, but yet she could still live. She can't even read people's minds. Like, I'm like, girl, you missed all the good stuff of being a vampire. Like, I would feel cheated. But anyway, I forgot to bring that up. But these are my questions. And what do you just go through each one and tell me your thoughts?
What next? Well, we definitely I'm trying to figure out who the heck was watching Guy and Doris on that boat, because we all okay, so somebody is watching them, and is that Talamasca person, because they are always watching, are they going to approach them? I want to see if they're going to actually approach them. Are they going to run them off the ship? Are they, going to make their life a living hell on the ship? Like, what are they going to do, and why are they there? Then I want to say, I hope in the second season, I hope we do find his mom. We do have the visual of she does exist. It's not a figment of your imagination. You really have a mom. Her name, what I said her name was, Anna Lemus. So you ain't tripping. You really have a mom. So I want to see if they, if they do find her. I hope so. It doesn't have to be on the very first episode. Keep the mystery going, maybe to the third, fourth episode, and then we get some connection with the mama, and then we get to go to the third season where we find out why they took her away from him and all the other things, or took him away from her. Will they bring Doris back? They got to. Like, Doris is the key. Literally, Doris is the key to everything. She's a book. She's an open book. She's a walking book. Like, they got to bring Doris back. She was on the outside looking in the first couple of episodes, and now she's in the episode. I don't know at all why they're making more vampires. It's not enough. Maybe the ones that are there, they're being unalived for whatever reason, or maybe it's about to be some type of war. I don't know. I don't know. And they don't have a book that you can actually refer to on the Talamasca. They say that there's no book that you can actually, like, just straight up Talamasca. So if it is, somebody let me know so I can go and actually read it and get some of these answers. Okay.
I think that in the interview with the vampires, whatchamacallit, I think there is a one of the books are entitled Talamasca. Each one of them has like a different thing. So you have, but we'll figure it out, because at some point we're gonna travel down all these Anne Rice books. I've been holding off on it for a while, but I think I'm almost there. Yeah. So and when I said will they bring Doris back, I was talking about the Talamasca. So that one question that you that one question that you talked about, or that you talked about at the very beginning, the person on the guide is the Talamasca, and they know that they're there. The guy Houseman told him, remember when he makes that phone call and he says, "What do you want me to do? I got my eyes on him." Well, they're looking at her, and he's saying, "No, just see where she's going." He wants to know who she's going to. They're following her on purpose because they want to see where she's going to lead them, because she has to be on a mission to go find somebody. Like, so they're basically, they watching her too. Like, they see her. Right. That's why I was like, they could get her anytime, because they see her. They know exactly where she is, because she's supposed to be on the run, but technically she's not. They found her. They know where she is. So I'm ready to see how that's gonna all play out. Like, hell, where is she going? Well, at this point, we think she's probably gonna go with Guy to find the mama, most likely. I don't think they're gonna separate. Yeah. I think they're gonna stay together and go find this mama. And then we're gonna have a whole nother mystery.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
Okay. But anyway, y'all, that's what's up with the Talamasca. That was season 1. That was episode 6. This was the finale. I think they are off to a great start, Tika. I'm very much interested in the Talamasca. I'm very much engaged in it. I thought they did a good job for these first for this first season, as they to show people what they would get. I think they did a good job, and I'm here for it, and I'm invested in the story at this point.
Yeah, I'm here for it as well. But somebody like me, I literally have to watch these episodes like twice so I can get an understanding. Because as you see, I missed the part, so I have to literally. After we're done here, sometime in the week, I'll watch it again. I'll watch the full season again, the full 6 episodes, so I can get the bits and pieces together, and that way, when the new season comes through, I'll be able to understand a little bit more. And for the record, I mean, for anybody that's looking for more about Talamasca, I know they do have some of the Comic-Con footage on AMC, where they talk about how everything went down, how they put it together, who wrote it, who added what part into it. They get questions and answers from the actors that are in the movie. They talk about a lot of the behind the scenes things that happened. It's very interesting. So if y'all ever have time, check out the behind, or the Comic-Con. Check that out. Check that out. And it was pretty interesting. So yeah, I got to half of it. I didn't get to watch the full. So again, something else I got to finish watching. Okay.
That's okay. I understand. You know, we busy. We be keeping it busy over here, so I get it. You have to go back a little bit later. But yeah, I too, I be having to watch stuff a couple of times too. Like I'll watch the episode, especially if I'm leading it, I will watch it a couple of times just to make sure. Unless it's the family business, you know, I just talk about that
Yeah,
randomly.
okay.
I'm like you. It's like with you with Ruthless. I can just talk about
Exactly.
it regardless. But other than that, y'all, that's what's up. That's it. We appreciate everyone who came through to take the time to listen to us talk about the Talamasca. We know you guys didn't really get a chance to say anything in the chat, except for Miss Barbara. She did say something. Thank you for coming to speak and all of that stuff. We appreciate it. If you're watching this on the replay, guys, please make sure to just drop down and let us know that you came through. Type in hashtag replay squad and tell us what you thought about the episode and maybe answer those questions that I just had up on the screen as well. Let us know what you think is coming up next and all the other things as well. As far as our channel is concerned, guys, since we're finishing up the Talamasca, I think we're just going to have our movie nights that we have every Monday, y'all. So make sure that if you like movies, we do a new movie every single Monday. On next week, we will not have another show just yet. So I think for the whole month of December, there won't be another show on Tuesdays, but rest assured that when January comes around, when there's another really good series that comes out, we will pop back up with another series. So definitely. And if you know something that you might want us to, that you think we might be into, shoot, drop it in the chat and let us know. We definitely will go and go take a look and see if it's something that we can do. But we are still doing All Is Fair. So we're doing that on Thursday. So please come and check that out. We just finished up Married at First Sight, but we are going to be going into Kimura's back in the fab lane or something like that. Don't know the exact wording of the title, but it's something along those lines. So we will be jumping into that at some point. And then, of course, we have Power Book 4 Force. We are going to be continuing to talk about that as well over the next several weeks. And then I think, do we have anything else, Tika? I think that's it.
And our Wednesday drop.
Yep. And our Wednesday drops. We do our reaction videos on Wednesday, y'all. So this Wednesday, we'll actually be dropping Welcome to Dairy. So please make sure that you check that out. It's been interesting watching this show thus far. So please make sure to go and check out our full reaction, guys. And if you are into reaction videos and you want to see our fully unedited reactions, head on over to Patreon and consider being a member over there as well, guys. And with that being said, any follow-ups to Talamasca, anything?
I just want people to really go and check out join the Patreon, because if y'all want to see somebody in tears or y'all want to see somebody like really covering their face, and EJ and I do the jump, but EJ bringing the tears, y'all. If y'all want to see somebody get emotional over some scary ish, that my girl, she's the one. Okay, I'm just saying, it's so worth watching. But it was fun. It was scary fun watching it. We have so much that we're working on, y'all. We so excited just to keep bringing y'all this content, and when it keeps dropping, y'all gonna be like, dang, they really were working. But we already have up to like 75 videos on the channel. Like, we've been grinding for real. So we appreciate y'all for coming through. Share, tell everybody about Talk That Talk Media, tell everybody about the Patreon. Like, just do all of the things. Come to the post or the community tab, post a comment, like it. Just show us more engagement so that we can continue to grow our channel. And again, share, so we can get up to at least 500.
That's
so
our next goal is 500.
But yeah, thank y'all. Always fun. EJ got me watching some stuff, y'all. She got me watching some ish. That's all I can say. and I'm here for it. I'm here for the roller coaster. Okay.
Listen, if y'all if you haven't watched the Lifetime movie, He Wasn't Man Enough, it actually has dropped on Lifetime. So definitely go give that a try. It's a cute little watch. If you just have some time, want something to watch. There's also Friends and Lovers as well, and we actually have reviews for all of that up right now on our channel as well. So please go ahead and check that out, y'all. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace.
Talk that. Talk that. Talk that. Talk that.